Okay, so today is March 10th, year 2024. I, I totally forgot to do my bi-weekly journal last week because I was just actually busy, being productive. So, at least it wasn't procrastination or anything. I actually had a good reason. But anyways, we'll do a bit of catch up now, I guess. Um, I'm finally making like what do you call it? Progress, I guess. With the videos, like I'm getting more and more like the hang of it, I think. Uh, it's still taking like several weeks for me to pump out like one video because well, I have a full-time job that I have to deal with. But I think things are going at a decent enough pace for me, considering everything. I think there were quite a few things I wanted to talk about for my journal, but again, I didn't write them down on my notes, so they all just became like thoughts that basically flashed in my head and then forgotten immediately after. There is this one thing I remember to write down though. It was like uh I watched this video about how there's this person who was just very unhappy with his life, and he was like what he went into the woods and built a little like cabin for himself, like a hidden ground cabin, something like that. And that was like the only thing that like gave him happiness. And eventually he kind of just like had enough, and then the thing is that he was very unhappy with everything else other than that cabin, right? Like everything else about his life he was just very unhappy with, and kind of like saw like his wife and kids almost like burdens. And what happened, like this is kind of sad, but what happened eventually is that he just like killed his whole family and then like retreated into the cabin that he built. And when he was finally caught, like before they could apprehend him, he like he offed himself. So yeah, it was like a pretty horrible kind of like situation. But something interesting when like was mentioned in that video is that like the whole incident was not really like video recorded, but the perpetrator, the guy, he was doing like this video vlog for himself, like video journal, right? And it was and then there was like a bit of analysis on like what those video journals like showed about this person. And something interesting mentioned was how like what was it? Well, I don't remember the exact quote, but it was like talking about how if the person was like talking as if there is an audience, and that showed narcissistic tendencies. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. But it also mentioned about how this is could also be like a mental disorder about like being stuck in the past, or being stuck in some kind of like childhood like mind due to some kind of trauma. And that was like the thing that I don't know. It kind of hit weird for me. Like right, what I'm doing right now is basically the same as talking as if there is an audience, right? And narcissistic tendencies, honestly, I can see that. But it's like talking about being stuck in the past, stuck in some kind of like childhood mindset, a childlike mindset due to some kind of trauma. I don't really know, like what kind of trauma can cause something like this? Like, does it even really need like some kind of trauma for something like that to even happen? And like, I don't really see how the 2 points are drawn together either. Like that, I think is like a controversial um what do you call it, like a controversial interpretation of the situation, right? Or interpretation of a certain like behavior. But like I don't know. I don't really understand. Maybe it's like cuz like how why I feel weird when they said it like that is that it feels like I'm being called like immature for like doing like video journals and stuff like that. You know, it feels like just like the act of talking to myself as if they're or like talking to myself or just talking into the void is somehow a very childish kind of behavior, and I don't really like the implication with that. I think that's my biggest like issue with it. But anyways, it was still an interesting video. I think it's interesting how, I think it just really proves, well, not really proves, but it definitely supports the idea that, just because you have a family and everything doesn't exactly mean you are living a happy life, that, you need more things than, sometimes you just need more than just human relations, that are these things that only you yourself can understand, that like these specific things, that there are these like very specific things that can make you happy. And I think I'm kind of like something similar to that, where like I can't really imagine myself like being happy after like getting a family or whatever. Like my parents have been like not really egging me on it, but they've been like pushing here and there. And like I just don't really like that. Not because that they nag too much, but just because like I don't think that's something that brings me happiness. And when you put it like that, it's like, there are these people, it becomes a situation where there are these people forcing things. It feels like they're forcing things onto you that is not going to make you happy, is basically what's happening. You're being pushed, like you're having like unhappy things being pushed onto you, is like what kind of it becomes, if you interpret it in a certain way. But yeah, like to me, I just don't, I'm not in the right mindset yet. I'm not at that point of life where I'm like, yeah, I need to settle down or whatever. I don't think it's time for that yet. There's also like, the arguments about how like human relations are definitely important. Like it's definitely important for your mental health and everything like that. But right now, I feel like I just cannot see myself like giving another person like so much attention that this thing I'm doing for them will be called quote unquote love or whatever. Like I can't imagine myself, I can't imagine me sacrificing myself for another person out just because I like them or whatever. Like I am not an altruistic person like that yet. And I don't have that kind of mindset. I just don't have it in me to handle things like that. And I feel like for a person like me with a mindset like this to then pursue some kind of romantic relationship is just not good, because I will literally see the other person as a burden to me. And at the same time, I think it is also disrespectful to the other person, because I am not treating this relationship or this other person like genuinely, right? And I don't want to do anything like that. If I can avoid like basically lying to them that I like them, I'm not gonna I don't think that's a good thing. It's not something that I want to do. And that's like, yeah, that's kind of like my whole take on it, is that for me right now, like I can't find myself giving my partner the respect that they probably deserve, is the best way to put it. And also, I just don't want a partner. Like, like period. I don't see the point in it. It's like, I'm trying to save some like money right now, and like having a partner usually means that you're going to like spend a lot more money, and I don't see anyone that, you know, I have not yet seen anyone that makes me go like, yeah, it's fine for me to spend a bit extra to hang out with them more often or whatever. I don't even like hanging out with people in the first place, right? So it's like, I don't know, personality wise, and just like also in terms of my current like income situation, my social status and whatnot, like I'm just not fit to do anything like that. But I think the most important thing is that I'm just not in the correct mindset to care for another person, to have someone else to like get close to me, you know? I have yet to find someone that is worthy. Oh, it sounds so fucking horrible, but it's like I've yet to find someone that is worthy of my attention, right? That's basically how I'll put it. What else has been happening for the past 3 weeks? Not much, I think. It's still just job stuff. Oh, I'm planning to go on a vacation in the summer for like a week, so that'll be fun. If possible, I want to go to Japan again. But yeah, I'll have to see how it goes. It'll be like a long vacation. I'll have to talk to my work colleagues and kind of like plan things ahead a bit, because like it's a really small department. So if any of us is going to take a break, we'll have to like plan things around everything, like so that we can at least ensure like 3 people, like a certain number of people are like in the department at all times, so that we don't get like overworked and whatnot. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh yeah, my teeth. I was like eating some fried chicken with a metal fork, and I don't know why, but I was like biting down a bit too hard, and I ended up like chipping my front tooth, and then I had to basically get my front tooth like fixed and stuff. But that was easy. Well, but like the process was pretty easy. It wasn't anything difficult, right? I just went to the dentist and they covered it up with like goop or whatever. But the real problem comes when later that night when I tried to put on my night guard, it doesn't fit anymore. And I think it's because after my front tooth, like my front tooth was actually already a bit damaged, like before getting fixed. So what ended up happening, I think, is that my front tooth is now too perfect. And it doesn't fit to the night guard anymore, because the night guard was made with the mold of my teeth previously. So it doesn't fit anymore, and the whole thing is yeah, it's very awkward to wear, and the dentist just suggests me not wear it anymore until like we get that like fixed a bit more. So yeah, Monday I'll get the night guard. I'll bring the night guard and have my front tooth, I think, get it fixed down a bit more. And man, my like biting problem is really, really, really bad, and I really need that night guard. It's been a whole week. I don't know what happened this week, but like apparently no one's working at the dentist place, so I had to wait for like this week. But yeah. What else is there? I think that's about it. Yeah, right now I just want to finish this last video for this part, and then like I don't know. I feel like I can get myself into this pattern this kind of like work pattern where it's like at work I work on a script, and then when I come home I work on a video of the previous thing. So like at work I write the script for the next thing, and then at work, and then when I come home I work on the actual video for whatever like script I've already finished. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, you know, getting things done in a more kind of like fluent way is what I'm trying to do here. Like trying to get myself into a kind of like a work pattern, right? But anyways, I think that's all I want to say today for the past 3 weeks. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, bye.